It says we're going live and we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 343, where we talk about our December favorite things.
Yeah, I wish I had like a lot to talk about, but I honestly I spent a lot of money in November with all of the sales going on. And so there's plenty of things arriving that I'm excited about. But yeah, I don't know. It just, when it came to getting ready to sit down and talk about it, I was like drawing a blank.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For me, December favorite things episode is one of my favorite things because I always feel like at any given point, I'm super excited about something. So yeah, I'm super excited about the pile. I've got a box actually full of stuff next to me, so maybe I can make up for what you lack this time. I just wanted to point out I didn't mess up my lipstick. It got to be a high of 11 the other day, and I think we hadn't gotten our dehumidifier going, so that's just like my lip being chapped down there, not that I went with lipstick. It's bothering me, so I thought I'd point it out if anybody was like, boy, Megan should have looked in the mirror before she started podcasting. Hi Sarah. Hi Pat.
So do you think that is just your dehumidifier?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, when my family gets that way, it just seems to be like it starts and then you can't let it heal because you want to moisturize it, right?
Yep.
Lick it.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not licking it. This is all chapstick and whatever. I don't know if I bit my lip a little bit. But yeah, it's and then when you go outside and it's like high of 11, then I'm sure that probably doesn't do any wonders for it. But we've got a nice little ground cover out there now. I have a bunch of people that I work with that have littles. I don't have a little anymore, but they said that they were all just ecstatic that we had gotten snow. And I was like, I think when I was their age, I was probably pretty excited that there was snow too, because you didn't have like the logistics of we can't get places. Or that you have to clear the walk, or deal with your kids' snow stuff after they go outside and get all muddy and covered in snow and stuff. So yeah.
Well, and there's supposed to be even more on Friday, right? Like all day snow, 6 inches. Wondering if we're gonna have school, maybe.
Well, we can always have it online these days.
Very true, but wondering if we have to scoot on into school.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, but it definitely is looking a lot more like Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yes, I got my tree up. I guess that could be a favorite things. We put a lot more lights on it this year, so it looks extra festive, and almost fewer ornaments this year because the lights were so much. We were just like, we'll just put a handful of ornaments on there. But that was fun, adding more lights.
Yeah, I am. I think I mentioned it while we were chatting on Saturday, but I am like totally getting used to waking up and having this is tea, but having my cup of coffee and opening little Yarny presents in my Advent kit, the little box one from Queen City, and then unwrapping the Suburban Stitcher one. So yeah, I'm like, what is January going to be like? I won't have like my morning routine of Yarny presents to unwrap. I guess I could just go into my stash and put them in bags and like open them and be surprised by.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Pivot got day 6, I think. I don't know if it's day 6 or day 7, but there's definitely been strands cut by kitty teeth. And so I'm not ready to work with the yarn yet, but I am tempted to ball that one up just to find out how much I lost in the melee.
Well, Pivot thought it was for her.
She did. I left it on the floor, and I had re-put on the top because the box has the cardboard, and I'd re-put the cardboard on top, but it must have got maybe she stepped on one that was already opened, and she was like, oh, look, presents. She got to open the advent.
Your defenses have not eluded her. She has eluded your defenses.
Yeah, again, all the other days it was up on a shelf as well, but the one day I left it on the ground.
Yeah,
she got one.
Yeah. Yeah, another favorite thing would be that we got to talk to Jamie Hoffman, which is Knitosophy. Yes. She's fabulous, other than me kind of putting my foot in my mouth about the nature of her designs, because I was thinking of like halfway and V-back tee and scrappy, and I was like, oh, I don't really think of them as botanical. I can't drop it. She's got so many fabulous botanical. In fact, I can't wait. She gave us a preview. Well, she said it was also out on Instagram of that succulent sweater. I just have visions of it in green, and it's making me happy. So if you weren't able to join it live, make sure to go watch the playback, because she gave a very generous coupon code to our ZKNers that expires on Saturday. So you've got a little bit of time to go and watch the video and get the coupon code, because again, she was fabulous. I don't know, it's always wonderful to me to meet the people whose designs I think are inclusive and clever, and yes. You know, and then find out that they are much the same, right? So
yes, she's very size inclusive, and hearing her talk about her process and her wants for the future, yeah, she does a lot to make everything size inclusive.
And enjoys it too. It's not like something that she like obligingly does. It's like to her core. So yeah, absolutely. And then I'm making, I know this isn't the whips episode, but it's my favorite thing. I'm actually making 2 of her scrappy V's out of my advent kits. Not bored yet, but I am to the not biased section now. So this is showing up. This is a lot more maroon than it is, and it's kind of showing, like Amy has said in the past, the brown is really popping more, but this is the more subtle one. So this is Diane's, and I'm really liking how it's gradiating. I'm very pink today. And then I was opening the Queen City one and really enjoying how there was kind of a previous day's color and then riff off of that with the new one, and thinking that it would look very scrappy in a scrappy V. So I've got another one. So just kind of more, this one's a little more, it's very variegated, and a lot more scrappy looking. But in chatting with Janice, she's like, I can't wait to see what that turns out like. And also, like, you could knit like 2 of them. And I'm like, I know. So I've got my little Christmas bag here, and they're all kind of stacked up in there. Whoop. Of course, they're going to jump. But so this is, I don't know if you've opened it. Sorry. Have you opened today's?
It's fine.
Okay. This is today's with Queen City. So that'll be
cute.
Going in.
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't tell me the name, because that's the fun part for me. Is the name that's under it.
Yes, absolutely. I've been using my little stitch marker, the ice cream sundae one.
Oh, yes.
And Sullivan wants to play with it. He's like, he hears it clinking on the needle, and he's like, what is that? Is that a toy for me?
I forgot about those. I need to just put them on my current projects, since I'm not knitting that advent.
Also, so this is going to be, one thing's going to tie into the next, much like those colorways, to take pictures. And also here pretty soon, I'm going to be on sleeves. I'm going to try to work the sleeves concurrently, but I'm knitting on US 5s. So I don't have, main body 2 sleeves times 2 of US 5s. So I've been using this knitting Barber cords. a great deal. So again, I think we talked about them when I was back from Rhinebeck, but just super great to try on, super great to slip it off of the needles if you need to get that, US 5 back to knit another one. So I'm seeing in my future that I'll be using at least all 3 of these when I get to separating for the sleeves. And because with spare yarn, you end up doing a lot more of like purposefully slipping. And this is like a really tight join. And they just kind of seamlessly, I mean, sometimes one stitch will get caught on that little lip, but it's pretty easy to manipulate them on and off.
I agree. I agree. It's been quite fun to use it to try on sweaters and things.
Because I've been so in love with them, I went out to, so Knitting Barber has an Etsy shop. There's also other places like Leading Men Fiber Arts, but at the time, the stockist that I could find it on was the Perfect Blend. So I got prizes for the KAL, the Comfy Cozy KAL. So if you want a set, make sure that you get your entries in. That's been a 3-month Comfy Cozy, and it's coming to an end here at the end of December. So
she's got a lot of them.
I got some prizes, and you get a Knitting Barber, and you get a Knitting Barber. Along with those prizes, sorry, I'm not grabbing the whole box. Amy and I fell in love with the Knitted Wit. Again, that green is going to be a lot more Bazinga than it actually is in real life. It's kind of a nice scummy green. I don't know. Is that how you would describe it as well?
Right. It's more of a foresty kind of play, right? Because this is a national parks.
Yes. Yeah. So it's big woods, and it's inspired by the national park that's near Northfield. And so I have some fingerings. They're all very unique. Some fingering, which is a very beefy fingering. When Amy and I were looking at these together, so it's 420, 80/20 merino nylon. It looks very similar right next to the DK. Which is 280. But yeah, it's a beefy, very plump fingering, and then the DK. And Laura Burdette designed a cowl that has some fringe and whatever with it. So if you were interested on what you could do with a crazy skein like this, Amy and I absolutely loved the crazy skein portion of it.
Yep. And so those are prizes.
Came in the mail yesterday, and I was like, what did I order? That isn't whatever, but I had pre-ordered it. I got my Tunisian Crochet handbook.
Very nice.
Yes, by Tony Lipsy. It has been a journey for her. I know she's been shipping out a lot of the ones because she got a shipment of the books directly, but I had ordered mine through Amazon kind of prior to knowing that she was going to be selling them on her site. And I think there was like 3 different release dates along the way. So, supply chain, I think that's all you have to say these days is supply chain. There were supply chain issues. The thing that's been calling out to me is, so lots of patterns, lots of really great instructions in here. I haven't read enough of it to be able to tell you, the pros and cons of it, but there's a lot of foundational skills in here if you're interested in learning about Tunisian crochet. And then there's also patterns. So that appealed to me. Learn more, do more. Here are some patterns that you can use to do so. And it's it's got the little flip so you can keep track of where you are in the book. And there's some of the patterns that are in there. That chevron cowl is calling to me. Maybe with some of my copious amounts of leftovers from my advents.
A lot of leftovers.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I gave a little bit of a preview out on the enabling thread as well. But our swag shop, which is linked on StockinetteZombies, and I'll put it in the show notes here as well, which is also on StockinetteZombies. I got the new ZKN logo on items. So, yep, nice purple tee here. For sizing information, I grabbed a medium, which is generally what I grab in women's sizes. In men's, I'll do a small, but nice and roomy, not too tight. And I believe this was like the women's fit one. And there's hoodies and stickers, and Amy chose, she couldn't be persuaded to get the new ZKN logo, but Amy chose the the stashing squirrel in a very sparkly water bottle.
So, well, I think that I had tried to order that originally a while ago, and
just never got an order in. So, yep. On so the company that hosts our swag is doing a 15% off sale right now. So that was yesterday and today. So if you're watching this on Thursday, it's probably not going to do you a lot of good. But if you're watching it live or later on in the day on Wednesday, it's 15% off, and it doesn't cut into anything that of our profits, I guess. So yay! I love it.
Shiny, stashy squirrel.
Yes, it's very, very Christmassy to be all sparkly like that.
I think so. I have some wrapping paper that's that glitter. Gold.
And Amy's aware that I'm kind of I want to do that a million times type of person. I think anybody that's watched the podcast might be as well. You saw the hats that I finished last week. I went a little crazy on the sock sets at Legendary Fiber Arts because I was like, oh, I could make a hat with that. So I just have a huge bag of the sock sets. Yeah.
I know I saw it in person, but seeing it again, it's like,
yeah. Sally Owens, which again, this is not as bazinga as it's turning out on the screen. This one is Hasta, which I think will have some nice contrast in a hat. You can see that I grabbed a lot of the greens. They have a nice green, which is why this is Beetlejuice. This one, and so I can also make socks with these as well if I'm not like in lather, rinse, repeat with hats. Octopus's Garden. Okay, just two more. Sweeter Than Honey. I wanted to get this one. There was a fun little kit that had like bees and honeycombs, and then this one is Practical Magic. So yeah, lots of contrast. They also have lots of really fun. I didn't grab any of them, it appears. I had loaded a cart, and this is the trimmed down cart, by the way. And there was Christmas ones. So Christmas Vacation, they had the Santa Claus ones that were inspired by the Santa Claus in previous years. And I'm trying to remember the one before that. But yeah, they've got some Christmas, and the allure there for me is just the flexibility of making something with color work, as well as it's really a really cost-effective way to do a heel toe in that micro set, at least for my size feet. I don't use a full skein, so a 50-gram skein and a 20-gram mini is just about right. Maybe I don't get as much length as I would if I was trying to not be wasteful of a skein, but yeah, lots of fun there. Grab your new ZK. I really like how this looks on the with the white background. It really pops, especially the lettering popping out with the black. So a little less subtle on the logos, the printed logos on the t-shirts. So.
Well, yeah, for shopping, or speaking of shopping, I picked up a set of minis from Shelly Can that are from Lola Bean Yarn Co. So this is a color combo that Shelly Can came up with and Lola Bean dyed, and they were purchasable through Shelly Can's website. So I ordered the color combo. I debated casting on the little mushrooms that she had pictured on Instagram. They're so cute, especially in these colors. But I'm sure eventually I'll find something that I want to do with them to have them all together. maybe just do socks where they're just all happy together in a set of socks. But excited to have that palette. It's very pretty.
Yeah, I've been wearing Cass had that Lisa Frank collection, and I test knit the pixelated, I believe is what it's called. Holographic, not pixelated. Holographic. And they are so warm and smushy. Like I only have one other pair of all over colorwork socks, which is my Everlasting, which was our KAL that we did at the beginning of ZKN way back in the day. And those are now in my rotation. And I'm like, oh, when it's like 11 outside and it's cold, putting that like double layer and the smushiness is real of all over colorwork socks.
Well, I will say that in that vein, but not the same, I actually went and purchased the Lavender Loon kit that was with Beautiful Sister
and Paper
for
Daisy
DK weight socks. I was like, oh, those look so squishy, and all of it counts towards our KEL. Like 100%, like the bag, all of it
yarn,
counts.
the designer.
Yep. So I'm just like, oh, sign me up. It's also
all the imaginary points.
Yes. But I bought the one that was on Beautiful Sister's site. So the one that was more blues. There's a gray and gold one. So
it's kind of Christmas tree-y, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And that one was mine's more holly. The one that I got was more like holly inspired, beautiful blue. I would call it Christmas blue. It's really pretty. And I'm excited to get that. But that's just ordered because it just launched today, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Very recently. But I guess the other favorite thing that I could talk about is that I've been going through my stash. So you can kind of see like on this bed, there's like this big black bag. That is my ZK approved yarn. So I've been adding and subtracting to that bag today just to make sure it's all counts towards the KEL. And then pulled out some things that were on my I must knit this as soon as January 1st comes around. So this is very crinkly. This is designated to a Amy cardigan by Joji Locatelli. And so it doesn't count in the designer, but this is Diane's Suburban Stitchers. So all the yardage will count for that. And just looking at it just makes me happy. I can't wait to knit on that.
I'm trying to remember now. Is that pattern already faded like that, or is it you're going to planning? Okay, it's blocked. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a block cardigan. So I only have one speckle in there. The rest of them are solids. So it's a very blocked cardigan. And then another thing that I'm very happy is that I have this Happy Pink. This is from Leading Men Fiber Arts. It's the Oink Oink colorway. So Piggy. So I have enough to make a super cablelicious oversized sweater with this. So that is what is designated for it. I don't really quite have a pattern picked out yet. I have one that I want to make with it, but it's not purchased yet. So I might be looking through our designers' designs to see if I can find one that would work well with that yarn.
And I think I remember when you were ordering it, you were excited about the base. It's their non-superwash.
Yes, that's a non-superwash DK. It's really beautiful. Let's see. Oink Oink. Oh, it's worsted weight. Sorry. Yeah, West End is the base.
Fabulous.
Yes. And then I don't know why a lot of this is Suburban Stitcher, but it is. I also have these three. And I had wanted to make this into one of the crop sweaters. This is in one of Diane's spring colorways. I think this is the Ladybird.
Which is that new shawl by Joji.
Oh. Well, this one I think I'm going to be making something from Telly Bean. So I think Telly Bean has a cropped sweater. I can't remember. It's a very simple.
Yep.
I love it. And so and again, so I'm just gathering things to knit with for the KAL and kind of making that look forward to the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also dug out some superwash Polworth that I bought from at Hayes House Yarns. Haynes House Yarns. Sometimes I have problems saying that.
At Haynes House?
Yeah. And this, so these are the colors I have. But I'll probably be making some sort of sock out of this. I have a lot of sock patterns from our designers, so it could be any of those.
Yeah, pretty.
And yeah, so very excited that at Haynes House will be joining us at our marketplace. So gotta they're new as well, so gotta start working with the new people.
I love the speckles.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's blue. If that's hard to see. And then this is very pink and blue with the same sort of speckles, like blue speckles in it.
So fun.
But yeah, I'm 100% superwash Polworth, so I'm excited to work with that base.
Yeah, they have very unique, they have a wide range of bases, I guess, which is always very alluring. So,
yep. And then I have been happily opening Advents, not really knitting with them, so no pressure. And then as well as the bubble cardigan by Stephen West. I'm knitting that one with some minis I got last year as an Advent replacement or FOMO or whatever. I bought it, but I knew what it was going to look like. So I am knitting that in the order that the dyer put them into the bubble cardigan. I did not realize that I would get 19 stripes before I took out for the or before I got to join in the round for the arms, the underarm, the body. So I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna have to repeat these colors a couple times in the sweater. And there's plenty of yarn. I don't think that I'm going to run out. It's just one of those things like, oh, I'm going to use almost all of the colors before I reach the underarm.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is totally different, right? I'm going to be to underarm at day 8, basically.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This is, it's oversized and each stripe is only 6 rows. So it's, in order to stick with a different stripe or color for every stripe, I just didn't realize 19 would go by before I would get to join them. So
yeah.
I think it's
if you're done with, go ahead.
I was just going to say my gauge is a little off. I think that 19 will be longer than it should be, but we'll find out. I'm only at 11 now, so it's fine.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, if you're done with favorite things, I just wanted to mention that we have something this weekend. If you're a ZKNer, we're chatting with Heather Laws, which is fabulous bunny fish. If you've ever been to ZK and run into her, she gives great hugs and is a fabulous human being. So excited to chat with her and talk about her designs. We've got Arthur Christmas after that. And then on the 2nd, we're going to be chatting about our goals that we set out for 2021, a favorite project that you had in 2021, kind of do a retrospective or a look back on 2021. And, even if you didn't meet your goals, I'm 100% certain everybody did something that they loved and are proud of and crafted and brought them joy, even if it's still just a whip that you cast on in 2021 and it's bringing you joy, unexpected joy, or just expected joy, or I make these all the time. It's all fabulous in my book. I think it would be really interesting from my perspective to talk about the things that we set out to do and what we actually, because I know people wrote down like they had a word that they were gonna focus on that year, right? And I would have to say in general, my things have gone, most of the things I set out to do went by the wayside, other than the things that I said every month I was going to do, right? So kind of that regular heartbeat kept me on course. Versus like oh, that's right. In January of last year, I said I was going to knit from all of my books or craft from all of my books more often, right? I think I did it really well towards the beginning of the year, or like learning new things like Tunisian crochet. I did that really well. Did not set out for it to be the year of blankets, and it was absolutely the year of blankets for me. Yeah. Then we can, and if we've got extra time and people are interested, we could also talk about what 2020 people are hoping to do in 2022. So an opportunity there. And then Queen City Yarn is going to be doing a dye day where we get to follow along and see her process and how she does it. Fingers crossed she does it outdoors. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have a rain date on that one. Okay. in case it's super cold or super not great, unmanageable for that. So yeah, super excited about some of the new stuff that we're planning for 2022, in addition to our KAL, which you're making me go like, okay, that's right. I said I was going to grab that container and throw all of my
that would be an interesting breakdown, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like I've done it a few times in the past, right? Where I've taken every skein that I have gotten that's qualified for the KAL in one place. That bag is not all of it. I know that there's some bins that are the sweaters quantities, and the more of the singles and lonelies or shawl kits are in that one.
Yeah.
So it gets to be a lot, but I'm excited to plot and plan my first few cast-ons of the new year for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, again, it kind of gives you that clarity of focus.
Yes.
Right. Like otherwise it's so much, which can be fun too, but
right. I can do anything. Oh, wait, I can do anything.
Yeah. What? Huh?
Yeah.
What should I do? There's so many beautiful patterns and so little time. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And so much yarn. I've got so much yarn. Anyway.
Yeah. You might need to, like you said, get the smaller container thing going in the new year.
Right now they're so big and so heavy and they're all stacked up on top of each other that it becomes hard. Most of the stuff gets pulled from the like, oh, I bought this at ZK 2021, or oh, I bought this at Rhinebeck, or oh, this just arrived in the mail immediately on the needles, because it's gotten hard to get into the really large containers, the human-sized containers.
Right. We might need clear and smaller. And
maybe a different space that isn't the dining room / yarning room. I'm looking at my attic. Yeah.
Oh, the attic.
Less accessible, but maybe more accessible, because it won't have to all be stacked on top of each. Anyway, that's a different podcast. It's not favorite things, and you.
I was just thinking about how it gets filled with like zombie retreat stuff. So it might be hard for those things to share. Anyway, it's a big room.
We'll make it work. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.